Alright, hello. Today's video is late. Apologies about that. I got distracted by YouTube Shorts, and it's like 12:04. I'm supposed to have this uploaded at 1, but I'm not going to stress about that. I just want to go over the new mons. Showdown isn't updated yet, but I do want to talk about the new guys. I'll just give, like, kind of basic first impressions that what I think they're going to be like. By the way, this is just referring to Smogan. So if you don't know who I am, sorry, yeah, just Smogan content here. I do want to try VGC, though, so it seems like it'd be fun. Okay, but anyway, we're actually going to start with Arcaldons first, but I want to start with the Raging Bolt because I'm particularly excited about this guy here because I actually really like his design. I think he's funny. Okay, so first of all, we're going to look at the stats, and this guy hits like a truck. He's got great HP, he's got decent defenses, but most importantly, he's got a very high special attack. Now, his speed, I mean, he's slow, but this isn't horrible. But notably, I'm like 99% sure that even if you run max speed on this guy, let's see here, beneficial 273, it's going to be lower than a neutral, yeah. So this guy will never get booster speed, because even if you run min special attack with 0 VVs and 0 IVs and bad nature, he'll still have it higher than his speed. So you will never get a plus speed on this guy, which means if you want it to be fast, you have to run Scarf. But probably not best to run Scarf on this guy at all. Generally speaking, based on this guy's stats alone, you would expect him to be like a bulky special attacker. He takes a hit really well and then he hits back hard. But let's not forget that he has a signature move called, where is it at? It's somewhere around here. Thunderclap. And it's a special attacking electric sucker punch. So this thing is going to get hit really hard. Now, before we talk about any sort of movesets, we have to talk about the elephant in the room here being the number 1 or number 2 mon in the tier, whose name I am currently forgetting. No, actually, no, I remember his name just fine. I just don't remember if he's actually number 1 or 2. Great Tusk. Great Tusk is going to be this thing's biggest obstacle for being good in OU. Now, if this thing... I have a feeling this thing will start OU and it will stay OU for a month, but I think it'll probably fall. Like when January tier shifts come around, I think he's going to stay OU. But I think when February comes around, I think he's finally going to fall down. Mainly because Great Tusk is a very difficult matchup for him to beat. Now, Great Tusks a lot of the time run speed, and even if they're not, they're always running Rapid Spin. So Great Tusk will always outspeed this guy, and he will always one-shot it using a Headlong Rush. Because Great Tusk hits like a truck. So pretty much if you want Raging Bolt to be even usable in OU, you're pretty much required to run Terra Flying. That way you can dodge the Headlong and then KO this guy. But Terra Flying, it's not really the best defensive typing. Meaning, I just don't, not to mention you have to use your Terra to win that matchup. And it's kind of like, do you really want to burn your Terra like this? So I guess what I'm kind of going at here is he'll be OU for a month, and then he's going to fall down. But if you want to use him in the OU tier, I'm pretty confident you have to run Terra Flying, Terra Blast. Now, I'm just going to use a Raikou here to make a set here. Obviously, it's not going to have the same exact moveset. In fact, let me load up the learnable move here. So we got what? Thunderclap. You're going to run that, and then you're going to run Terra Blast with Flying here, right? And your last 2 moves, you're going to have a few choices. Let me double-check his learning move. Oh, wait, no, I don't have to double-check that at all. It's up here. Draco could be good for damage, but I don't really like slow Draco all that much, especially if you don't have any sort of pivoting to make advantage of it. Its physical attack's not... Oh, no, it is pretty bad. Never mind. So, yeah, you always want to run special attacks on this guy. So, actually, doesn't this thing get Weather Ball? Let me double-check that. It does, in fact, get Weather Ball. So, if you run this on Sun, which you probably should, you'll always get that, You'll get that, If you run it on Sun because of Proto Boost, this will be a Fire type. So, you will have... lightning and fire coverage. Oh my lord, English is not working. Electric, flying, fire covers a lot of things here. And then your last slot. Now let me double check. Does this thing get Aura Sphere still? Or what about Scald actually? So it doesn't get Scald. Does it get Aura Sphere still? Because I know the regular form doesn't. So it doesn't. So it doesn't look like you're gonna be able to handle a Gambit. Honestly, I was thinking kind of like a general bulky set. This would be Proto Synthesis here. I'm just thinking max HP, max special attack. Honestly, yeah, just dump attack. Go all out in the special attack. What would your last move be? Let's think about it for a second here. I'll be back. Like, you could run Thunder, Just in case someone tries to get rid of your sun using rain, you can punish that hard with a very high special attack. What else could you run? Ooh, Calm Mind. Wait, does this thing still... Yeah, it does get Calm Mind. That way, if they try to play around your electric move, you can Calm Mind up. Yeah, kind of like what King Gamma does with Swords Dance. This is a pretty decent hitting attack. Thing is, though, unless you're specially... the enemy only has special attacking left, it could be hard to get this to work, especially if they have King Gambit. Not King Gambit. Great Tusk is going to be this thing's biggest obstacle in the OU tier. Let's go through the tier real quick. Is there anything else that's going to be an issue? Blissey, but Blissey's not really used much anymore. It's definitely going to fall back down. It was only up here for Blood Moon, and then it just stayed around because Stall was popular for a while. What else is here? Lando is going to be a bit of an issue. I'd say not probably as much as one, because Lando's not even used all that much. What else is here? Wake could be an issue, because it's faster than you, but you can maybe... Nah, you're not taking a hit from Wake. I don't think so. If you do, you're at like 1 HP. And you're definitely not killing with 1 Thunderclap. So I'm guessing like Wake, Lando. Garchomp could be annoying. Wake, Lando, and Tusk are going to be your biggest issues. Now, if this thing does fall to UU, what do we got down here? Because I feel like it will fall eventually. And it might actually be UUBL eventually as well. Okay, because this is a threat. But this is a threat to everything, so that's not really special. Azumarill's dead. Breloom can spore you, but that's about it. If you're running Sun and UU as well, like what can take a hit from this thing reliably in UU if you have Sun up? Because Gashadon's not really going to eat it that well. Hoopa's okay. If Hoopa's one of your best answers, that's not really good, though. I mean, Hoopa can kill you in retaliation, but dear lord, you really don't want to deal with that. Grimmsnarl is not really too common to my knowledge, plus it's not really going to take a hit very well. Like, the best it can do is set up screens. Treads, if you have... Yeah, Treads is going to be an issue in UU. Mamoswine, yup. Pretty much all the ground types is this thing's monster. Oh yeah, this thing's going to hate Sandy Shocks. I think it'll fall to... Ooh, I just forgot how many ground types are in UU. Maybe it'll be fine in UU. But then again, if Rain... Like, this thing's actually good on Rain, too, because, you know, Weather Ball for the water coverage, and then Thunder because you have 100% accurate Thunders. So, you know, maybe another set you could do if you're in UU, or if you're running Rain. Let me just use Raikou just so you have something to look at here. You can run Booster. You get that special attack boost with Proto. I'm not going to spell this. I'm not spelling it all out. Just always run Thunderclap because it's just that good. Run this with Thunder, Weather Ball, and what else? What would you want to run on a Rain in UU? Terra Blast is always just a general coverage thing that you can use, but... Fairy's decent. I like Terra Fairy. Because it hits, But what does it? It hits Breloom. Well, actually, you outspeed Breloom. So maybe it's actually worth running Speed in UU. Because UU's not all that fast. I need to set this to UU. Yeah, because you outspeed a lot of... Oh, not Sped F, I'm stupid. I was looking at special defense and I was very confused. You still outspeed Breloom, though. You know, it might actually be worth running Speed in UU. But I don't know, I like the reliability. Probably Terra Fairy, or something that can take ice hits. Like Terra Water is also very reliable. Yeah, I like Terra Water more. So I think this thing will be... It'll be OU for a little bit. It's going to drop down the UU. And I think it'll actually, it might be fine in UU. There's a good chance it'll get banned. Especially depending on, like, certain things rise or fall. But, I don't know. This thing's not too long for OU, in my opinion. But this is definitely going to be the first mod I use whenever the ladder gets updated. I'm going to make a team with this guy. I'm telling you now, this is going to be the first battle you see from me. Alright, next up, we're going to talk about Archaludon. And I think this guy's also going to be a great UU mon. Because look at these stats. 90 HP, 130 defense, 85 speed. Like, the worst thing about this guy is his special defense, but that's whatever. He's got special attacks aren't really great and common in the OU tier right now, at least to my knowledge. Most of the threats are physical. Like, what do you got to really worry about? Goldengo and, the biggest threats, generally speaking, are Goldengo and Valiant, right? And Gran, I guess, too. And that's a pretty big, I guess, to be fair. But this guy here is a monster. I love his stats. I don't think he's going to be OU, but I love his stats. I don't remember how this... Oh, Metal Alloy and Evolve, so it's basically stone. This guy gets Stamina, which could be very interesting because I'm 99% sure he does get body press. You get body press, right? Where's my P button? There it is. Okay, so he does. So running a bulky set with this guy with stamina could be very interesting. But most importantly, he does have his signature move. It's a 2-turn attack, electro shot. It's a 2-turn attack. If it's raining, it becomes a 1-turn move. And whenever you use it, you get a boost in your special attack. So running this thing on rain is gonna be so good. Cause let's get him loaded up here. Let's load him up. Duraludon. So you want to run electro shot, obviously. Always gonna run that. This is gonna be stamina. Now you don't actually have to run stamina. Like, what else does he have? He has sturdy. Never mind, you're running stamina because this is useless in singles, and this thing's generally bulky, and sturdy's not reliable enough, especially with hazards being everywhere. Stamina is a very solid ability. Now this guy's biggest weakness is he has no form of recovery. In my opinion, that's his main weakness here, because I'm not seeing anything. He'll probably have rest, but that's about it. I like a very basic set with stamina. Honestly, you could just do... How important would a physical attacking set be? Stamina, rest, chesto. Completely forget your special defense and just go hard in on the physical side of things. You want to run electro shot, so you run body press, rest, sleep talk. And I need something to hit ghosts, so like, what's a decent attack for that? I guess you could run a special attack now. So what would you run to hit ghosts? Ooh, Meteor Beam is also interesting. I'll be right back. Okay, so I had to take a phone call. I just realized that his signature move is just a different version of Meteor Beam, pretty much. Let me see. We need something to hit ghost types, though. What is that? Foul Play could be interesting, but that, like, 3 shots Goldengo, so I don't really like that. I want a special attack that can hit ghosts. So that's the main thing you need. More importantly, you need Goldengo if you're using it in OU, because a Goldengo is too common to just ignore. I don't like the idea of using your Terra to take on that matchup. It seems kind of bad. Ooh, doesn't look like you have anything to hit Goldengo at all. That's not good at all. Yeah, it's not really a great matchup for you. I'd probably just say run Thunderbolt and hope to God the opponent's not running a Golurk. Now, this is by far not going to be the best set. This is not going to be the best set at all. Probably a more reliable set. If you run it with, like, Sticky Web support. Running this guy with Sticky Web support with Electro Shot in the rain, obviously, as well. Electro Shot. I'm not smelling shit. What else could you run? What coverage does this guy get? Some kind of Electro Shot. Flash Cannon's nice, too. Meteor Beam is pretty interesting. If you really wanted to be funny, you can run Power Meteor Beam as well for the additional coverage. But you need to be able to outspeed things, because this thing only has base 85 speed. So it doesn't actually gain speed on evolution. Solar Beam is funny, but you would never run it, because you're always using this thing on rain. So I like the idea of Electro Shot, that's rain. Or a Sphere, fuck it, it says terrain, I don't care. Or a Sphere to hit Gambit if you're running it in OU. Thunderbolt's generally good coverage. Thunderbolt, I like that. And then you can just run Draco Meteor, just as general attacking coverage, because, like, what does Rain really have to worry about? Like, what are the biggest threats to Rain and OU? Rain's more of a thing in UU, in my knowledge, but... What does Rain hate going to Ogerpon? Ooh, Ogerpon might be something you want to consider. That's more so of a Terra thing. Toxapex could be annoying. Tinglu, well, no. Well, Rain doesn't mind Tinglu, but Archaludon does. I mean, you could always just run Terra Blast in the final slot, too. Because now that I'm looking at it, it doesn't really have the best of coverage. It has Swords Dance. It's funny. I can imagine a bridge doing that. Oh, Iron Defense on the Stamina. No, I feel like that'd just become invalidated. I guess you could just run Draco. Oh, no. If you're running it on Rain, you want to run Thunder, not Thunderbolt. But, I don't know. This is probably going to be a better set for Archaludon. This thing is not going to stay OU. I can't see it staying OU. It's not that fast. And it's not that bulky, you know? Like, if you're Fizz Def and if you already have a stamina boost, or if you're Fizz Def, sure, you can take a hit from Great Tusk and probably KO it in return. But then what? That's like kind of all you can do. And what does this thing not want to see? First of all, it doesn't want to see Blissey, but that's not really relevant. Garchomp's gonna be annoying, but you can live a hit. Special Aura Sphere from Iron Valley will cleanly destroy you. What else is there? Huh, now that I'm looking at it. Yeah, Tinglu, you don't want to see that at all. I mean, you don't have any too amazing counters, but it's not like Duraludon's seeing any of these things getting too happy about its matchups anyway. So Duraludon's Archaludon's an interesting guy, but I just don't think it's going to be all that great. Oh my lord, this is... Why is it whenever I do a talking video, it ends up being longer than I expected? Hi, Drapple! The guy I spent the least amount of time looking with. But I do know one thing about this guy, and it's that he gets a lot of coverage for no reason, apparently. Wait, let's take a look at this guy here, right? He gets Earth Power. Earth Power. There we go. He gets Hydro Pump. Pollen Puff. What else is here? Bug Bite, Breaking Swept, Dragon Cheer. This thing? Huh. Let's take a look at the stats real quick. 106, 80. Now, these are pretty decent defensive stats here, and very high attack, terrible speed. This thing's obviously supposed to just be a wall, but I have a hard time seeing it doing better than Dipplin, personally. How does it evolve? Knowing Dragon Cheer. Fascinating. It does have Regenerator, so this thing could be a very decent wall. I'm just having a hard time seeing why you run it over Dipplin unless you want some good offensive coverage. Because Dipplin's bulkier. It doesn't have Regenerator, but Eviolite just makes it bulkier. In general. Now, this thing is less bulk, but it has Regenerator, and it can hit hard. So you're probably going to run that. This thing is not staying in the OU tier at all. This thing's probably going to fall in the first tier shifts, if we're being real here. It's not fantastic. Infestation could be interesting, because you can trap something in and maybe set up on it. What setup does this thing get? It gets Recover, first of all. Let me double check that. Oh, someone's at my door. Now, this thing does learn Nasty Plot, which could be very interesting to run on a bulky mon. Why am I forgetting the name of the word Recover? Okay, yeah, so it does have Recover. So Nasty Plot, Recover, some grass move. It does get like that Sticky Sweet Syrup move, but I don't think it's really gonna like that. What's it called? Syrup? Okay, I'm not gonna remember the name of its signature move, but it's not really great anyway. Syrup Bomb, that's what it's called. Lowers the foe's speed stat. It's going to take all 3 turns before you even have a chance of outspeeding, so it's not too fantastic. It can be useful for the other guys, but it's only base 60, so I don't even think it's worth running, especially if it's only 85 accuracy. I would honestly prefer something like, I'm thinking of a set like this would probably be the best here. I'll just say Dipplin. If Dipplin can learn the move, then so can its other guy. I'm kind of thinking just like Nasty and Recover. Let's see here. Earth Power could be interesting coverage, because this thing's totally going to be RU. This thing ain't going to be UU. What's good in the RU tier? What's good in the RU tier? Okay. Let's be difficult. What is good down here? Okay, I'm seeing a lot of things that Earth Power hits hard. Hit this, that. Earth Power is really solid down here. And then you need something to hit the flying types, which is also pretty prevalent. So, what does this thing get? You don't want to run Thunderbolt, because Kill Watcher will just wall you. You could just run Dragon Pulse. I like the idea of Dragon Pulse. This is okay. This is a solid set. If you really want, you could run Giga Drain over Recover. You lose a bit of reliability. Yeah, and then just either max HP, max special attack, or just max HP, max defense, or... You want HP on this thing. Yeah. Max HP, then pick your favorite between defense, special attack, and Spadef. And then go hard. It seems like it'd be a fun Pokemon to use in lower tiers. I guess run Leftovers because you want to be bulky. And then obviously you're going to run a Regenerator. So I guess like a set kind of like this would probably be working out best for you. Seems like it'd be a pretty fun buy. But I'm going to be real. I don't have anything to say about this guy because he's not particularly great. Like, he's definitely be a lower tier guy. It might be fun. His defensive typing is not great. Being weak to U-turn on a wall is never fun, because you're always going to have to take that, as it sends in something that's stronger against you. So, I do like the shiny. That's the best thing this thing has going for it. We're going to move on from this guy, because he's not too fantastic. Gouging Fire. Also, first of all, I called the name. This guy looks weird. I don't know if this model's going to get updated, and this is just what they had at the time. Also, I don't even know if this guy's available immediately or not. But, this thing is a little interesting. Like, let's look at this thing compared to regular Entei. And by compared to regular Entei, we're not comparing it to Entei at all. Actually, that's not true. Alright, let's just take a look at Entei. I'm stupid. Hold up. Entei. Right? This thing's got less HP, the same attack, and then it skyrockets its defense by like 30. It loses a lot of special attack, which is honestly good for this thing. It gains some speed and it loses some speed. So this thing, generally speaking, has a better stat spread than Entei. Because, like, it hits just as hard, and it's a little slower, but it's a lot bulkier to make up for it. So honestly, it's worth. And it gains the dragon typing, which, Dragon fires pretty decently. Because, like, what are you weak to? Rock, ground, dragon? That's it? I mean, being weak to stealth rocks ain't great, and dragon's not too very common offensively, so you're weak to earthquake and stealth rocks. So, I mean, if that's all you're weak to, it's not horrible, but... guess it's not as good as defensive typing as I thought. Actually, let's go check out here. Like, what do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 resistances? I guess you could hope for more. But yeah, this thing's actually kind of decent defensively. Now, its signature move is something... It's a protect that burns the foe if it makes contact. So you know how moves like King Shield and Spiky Shield work? Or if you click like U-turn or close combat on them as they click that move, you have their secondary effect. That's exactly how this guy's signature move works as well. Except, yeah, Temper Flare, here it is. Wait, what? No, that's not it at all. What's this move called? Oh, it's because I'm looking at the TMs. I'm so dumb. Burning Bulwark. So this move is okay, but unfortunately I'm like 99% sure this guy did lose Sacred Fire, so he can't run that, which is a shame. Now, if I remember correctly, it does get Scale Shot. Does it get Dragon Dance? It does get Dragon Dance. So Entei with Dragon Dance sounds really cool. They gave this thing fucking Dragon Dance instead of Garchomp. Dragon Dance, Bulwark is okay for general setting up. You can also run Scale Shot if you don't. If you're okay with losing some defense and also dealing damage at the same time. Does this thing get any other multi-hit moves besides Scale Shot? I don't think it does, but I can go through this real quickly. The fact that this thing gets Dragon Dance is honestly kind of wild. But what's its best physical attacking fire move? It gets Flare Blitz, which is fine. Dragon Rush is not going to be consistent. Outrage is an option. I'm thinking you're going to run them on Earthquake. Run Earthquake, Flare Blitz, and then like at this point, like what do you have to worry about in the OU tier? This thing hits so hard. Being weak to rocks is going to hurt it so much, but what else do you got here? That's going to be annoying. This can be a problem if the Terra flies. Dead, 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 dead. No. Oh, Dondozo deals with you pretty easily. Not dead. But Dragapult. If you get one speed boost, you're probably fine. Dragonite is going to be an issue unless you're running Scale Shot. So honestly, maybe you do want to run Scale Shot on this set. Great Tusk is going to be an issue, but Great Tusk is an issue for half a tier. Moth you handle. You one-shot this guy. Actually, no, you need to have 2 speed boosts to be faster than Valiant. So that's not great for you either. Zapdos is generally bulky. Okay, so I'm a fan of this set. Thing is, you could run Bulwark as a way to deal with Tusk. You're not dealing with it very well, but you're getting it burnt, which means you can probably take a hit from that point. So I'm liking this thing with leftovers as well, and obviously it has Proto Boost, Photosynthesis. If you run this thing in the sun, you could get a speed boost from it as well. You're still going to be slower than Valiant, so that's worth keeping in mind. But this thing will hit pretty hard. I like this thing. Now, it might fall to UU eventually, and down there I think it'll be even better. I'm trying to think, is there any other really good physical attack this thing gets? Because Scale Shot's really interesting. I like Bulwark, but since it has such low PP compared to Protect, it's kind of like you have to be a lot more sparing with it. Plus it lets you scout. You can help deal with Tusk. Is there anything else you'd run? Stone Edge is okay. Psychic Fangs is funny. Smart Strike, what do you even need that for? Clefable? You probably hit it hard enough with Flare Blitz anyway. Let's see, Raging Fury is an option. It's an option, alright. Same thing with Outrage. Probably wouldn't go with it though. Unless you're running Sun, it's not worth running Raging Fury. Because you don't want to deal with getting burnt. Morning Sun is definitely also a very valid option. Especially if you're running this thing on Sun teams. Which you probably should be, considering it was Proto. This thing will be pretty fun. I might run this I was actually thinking about running regular Entei alongside Raging Moon. I mean, Raging Bolt, just to be funny. Just because, you know, Choice Band and Sacred Fire and the Sun's a very funny meme. But this set here looks kind of alright. You can replace one of these moves with Scale Shot if you really want to. Just depends on what you want to work with. But Gouging Fire seems like it's going to be a very fun mon. We already talked about Bolt, so I'm just going to skip over him real fast. Alright, Iron Boulder. First of all, I do not like its design. This is a very ugly mon. But, that being said, it has a very... First of all, it has a very nice stat spread. Look at that. It is... I did not expect speed to be this thing's highest stat, but it is. I think it lost some attack. I think I had 125 before. But the point is, Rock Psychic is a very, not great defensive typing. But this thing is just supposed to... Like, look, you're weak... Wait, what? Oh, no, you resist fire. Okay, yeah. I was gonna say... You're weak to U-turn, I think, right? No, does Rock resist Bug? I don't remember. No, it does not resist Bug, so being weak to U-turn sucks. You're weak to Sucker, so you can't really handle Gambit very well. What else are you weak to? Ghost. Yeah, the only thing you resist is Normal and Fire. Oh, and I guess Poison, too. And Psychic. And Flying. But, like, who runs Flying coverage? Psychic doesn't really exist in OU. Poison's not too common. Fire's decent, and then Normal doesn't exist. Let's take a look at this thing. Really high attack. Does it still have close combat? Okay, so it still has close combat. Let's look at its signature move. It's that physical rock move here. It's called Mighty Cleave. 95, 100% accurate rock move, and it always goes through Protect. So it works kind of like how Urshifu's ability works, where it ignores Protect. This thing will hit really hard as well, because 95 is not bad, because Stone Edge is only 100, isn't it? Yeah, it's Stone Edge, and you're trading out the critical hit chance and 5 base power for 20 more accuracy. And honestly, that's worth it. Now, you, considering this thing's speed stat, you might just want to run a booster. Let's get rid of Duraludon. So it's, okay, let's compare it to regular old Terrakion. You're probably going to run booster, and you're going to run a Quark Drive, obviously. Yeah, so this thing lost 9 attack and gained 17 speed. You're going to be running max attack, max speed. Speed nature. Yep. Get that. Close combat is amazing coverage. Mighty Cleave. I think that's what the move's called, right? Signature move, Mighty Cleave. Let's take a look here. Mighty Cleave, yeah, you're gonna run that. But now what else do you want to run? Quick Attack would be very funny, just so you can have priority. Psycho Cut is an option that I think you're gonna be forced to run. Mega Horn is okay coverage as well. Let's see here. Zen Headbutt? No. If you ever have to run Zen Headbutt, that means you have bad coverage. Poison Jab. Ooh, that's actually interesting. That could be for, Clefable. I feel like of all the paradoxes so far, of all the paradoxes of the legendaries we've gotten so far, this is probably the best chance of staying in OU, because this is a very reliable offensive stat spread. And Rock is nice to have. Rock's decent coverage. Close combat. Now, the main issue is you're absolutely going to die to King Gambit Sucker Punch. You just got to accept that. But outside of that, what else do you get? Those 3 moves are nice. It gets Electric Terrain is okay. Wild Charge is an option if you're really desperate. Iron Head is okay. I like that. X Scissor, if you don't want to risk a Mega Horn. Poison Jab is funny. I'm liking this guy. Mainly, you're probably just going to be clicking Mighty Cleave Close Combat every single time. But do you get Swords Dance? Do you get Swords Dance? If you get Swords Dance, that's amazing. Please tell me you do. Oh my goodness, yes. Oh yes, Swords Dance over those 2 moves, absolutely. Now what in the OU tier takes Fighting and Rock? Now this guy here, again, is going to be an issue because your best special attack is Psycho Cut. Psycho Cut. Because if you want to run Zen Headbutt, congratulations, you're going to miss all the time. Mighty Cleave. Go back to this. What in the OU tier is going to be a threat? Besides Great Tusk, what do you have to deal with? Amoonguss kind of sits on you unless you get a Swords Dance up. A Lomomola can take any 1 hit from you probably, and it won't kill you with anything, but you'll get good chip off. It'll probably just flip turn out into some kind of Scarfer and deal with you. You handle Cinderace, you handle Ceruledge. Corviknight could be an issue unless you can start setting up, because you resist Body Press, so you got that going for you. Garchomp could be an issue. Shoot. This thing can be really good, to be honest, though. I'm really liking it, though. It's just a general... It's a wall breaker. It just breaks a hole in the enemy team, and then the rest of your team can deal with it. Because right now, like, it hits Zap pretty hard. Zap is common. Hits Skeleturge hard, which is amazing. You're going to force Skeleturge to Terra. Glow King. This thing gets Earthquake, right? You get Earthquake? Yeah, you do get Earthquake. So you got Quake Slide as well. Quake Slide plus CC. I love that. Thing is, though, I don't know. You could also just run a choice set if you want to be basic and you want to switch it multiple times. So that's also an option. I don't think this thing gets tricked, does it? If it gets tricked, that'd be really funny, but there's no way it gets tricked. Yeah, no. Besides that, just run Booster with a 3-attack Swords Dance, or just run Choice Band or Scarf with 4 attacks. It's a pretty good guy. I like this. This guy's gonna be pretty fun. I just wish he didn't look butt ugly. Next up, Iron Crown, and I actually really like this thing's design. I'm not a big fan of just robot future Pokemon in general, but let's take a look at this thing's stats. Decently fast, kind of like regular Cobalion. Let's get rid of this Duraludon. Let's compare it to regular Cobalion. Right, so yeah, it lost 10 speed, gained like 30 special attack, lost physical attack, so it's better against foul play. Lost a little HP and gained a lot of lost a lot of defense and gained a lot of SPDF. So the thing's very interesting. Steel Psychic is a okay defensive typing, I guess. Because, like, what do you have to worry about? Fire, ground, dark, ghost. I think that's it. I don't think this gives you many resistances, though. Like, a quad to Psychic, but Psychic doesn't exist. Dragon's nice to have. Steel and Fairy is also nice to resist. No poison, which is great. That being said, this thing's defensively isn't all that fantastic. Where do you even find this thing in the game? I don't know. Okay. But Tachyon Cutter, it's a special attacking multi-hitting steel move. Now, multi-hitting moves are pretty nice. Also, it does not make contact, which I was kind of worried about, even though it's a special attack. Multi-hitting moves are nice because each move independently can crit, which makes it better than just being base 100. Also, the fact that it hits multiple times means it can break a substitute and then attack again, which means this is pretty good. It also has Volt Switch just like regular Cobalion. So, would Choice Scarf be good? Oh no, let's look at this thing's actual special attack. Choice Scarf on 122 special attacks, not bad. Choice Scarf over Booster Speed this time, just because, first of all, you want to run max special attack, so you want your special attack to be higher than your speed. But also because you want to switch it multiple times, because you want the Volt Switch out. I'm liking that idea. So I'm thinking Choice Scarf. Choice Scarf with Quark Drive, obviously. With, let's see here, Volt Switch. Tachyon. I'm not spelling this correctly, and you're going to have to live with that. What else do you get, though? Volt Switch, Tachyon. Stored Power? Ooh, Calm Mind Stored Power could be interesting. Air Slash. That's interesting that you learned that. I saw that Terrakion learned that too. Psychic, of course. It's very safe. Psychic is a very safe move to run on this guy. And then what? You could run Calm Mind if you're not running a Scarf set. You can run Calm Mind. Like in lower tiers, it'll be fast enough so it doesn't need a Scarf. So running... Ooh, Future Sight could be very interesting. Psychic Noise is also decent coverage as well. That being said, I'm not seeing too much else. Focus Blast is an option, but I don't like missing. This seems like a guy you could very much Terra into something. It's like, what Terra would you want? I'm a big fan of Terra Fly. Terra Psychic with Future Sight sounds like it would hit really, really hard. Like I said, this thing doesn't have the greatest coverage that I thought. Flash Cannon's an option, but not really a great one. Like, what are you really ever going to click Flash Cannon on? Like Clefable? That's kind of it. Like, I can't see what else you'd ever click Flash Cannon on in this tier. I guess Garg as well. Also, you're already on Tachyon, so you're never going to run Flash Cannon anyway. I guess you have the choice between, on the Scarf set, you have a choice between Air Slash and then just Terra Blast. What Terra would you run? I think Terra Fairy. Because that helps you deal with, but you already handle fighting types. It helps you beat dragons. Yeah, it helps you in your matchup against Pult, so Terra Fairy's okay. Also the Gran. So maybe, yeah, Terra Fairy. Kind of liking that. Terra Blast Fairy. I like this set here. Now, in lower tiers, if you want to be funny. Calm Mind. Stored Power. Now, this thing has no recovery, does it? So I don't know if I really like the Calm Mind Stored Power set. Yeah, maybe not Stored Power, but knowing that it's an option is nice. I like Calm Mind, Tachyon. Psychic. And what? Future Sight. Maybe Future Sight over Psychic. Yeah. Tachyon, Future Sight, and what? This thing doesn't get Thunderbolt. What do you get here? Terra Psychic just to hit even harder with the Psychic moves. Or maybe Terra Steel. That could be decent. Having said, this thing doesn't have the greatest coverage, so this thing's not going to be OU. But it'll be decent in lower tiers. I'm just going to pick Air Slash because I want to give it some kind of coverage. Give this thing like lefties. It'll be okay. And, Quark Drive, obviously. I like this thing's design. And this will be fun to use. I'll definitely use it when it eventually does drop because it's going to drop. Like, that's not negotiable. This thing is definitely going to fall down a tier. But this will be interesting. I don't think I'll use it for a while, though. I don't think this is going to be too good, but it's interesting to look at nonetheless. Terapagos, is this the last mon? No, Peacharun is. I'm going to be frank, this thing's going to be Ubers. We already know for a fact it's starting in Ubers because it's restricted. At least I'm 99% sure. But fun fact, when this thing terastallizes, it's basically a Mega Evolution, except it can hold an item. And it has 700 BST. I cannot imagine something having 700 BST staying in the OU tier. Now, this thing is surprisingly mono-normal. Look at this thing. Okay, so this form doesn't really exist because as soon as you send it out in the battle, it turns into this form. So, like, this thing's initial BST is irrelevant. Initially, it's 450, but it immediately turns into this as soon as it sends it out, and it doesn't burn your Terra. And unlike Ogerpon, by the way, even though this thing has a special Terra form, you can still pick any Terra type. So, yeah. This thing is absolutely going to be Ubers. It might fall eventually, but this thing is too bulky, I think. It's like, what does it get? Recover? No recover? No roost? Oh, does it not have any healing at all? This is its signature move. It's a base 120 special attack normal move. That's all it is. It hits hard. And if it's Terra, then yeah, it hits everything. So this is okay in doubles, I think. I don't think it's generally allowed in doubles, so. Oh well. You're not gonna run Tri-Attack, you're always gonna run its signature move. What are you gonna run? Signature move, Earth Power. I think it has decent physical attack, doesn't it? I mean, special attack's higher, but... Oh, especially when you Terra it. Yeah. This thing is not gonna be OU, so I'm not gonna spend too much time on it. But... oh, you can find it in Area Zero. Okay, what else does it have going for it? Terra Starstorm is what you're gonna be running all the time. It's the best move it has, signature move. Hits hard. I don't think it changes its typing when you terrastalize. So maybe running this with Terra Ghost is going to be kind of nice. That way you can take the fighting move as it comes in. It has a lot of really weird coverage. Dazzling Gleam is generally nice coverage. Flash Cannon's okay. Dark Pulse, Aura Sphere is nice. Stealth Rock is very good if you want to run a bulky set, but this thing has no recovery to my knowledge. So that kind of sucks. Calm Mind could be very nice as well. I don't know what you would set up on because this thing does get destroyed by Koraidon and Ubers. But generally speaking, it might be nice. Toxic is fascinating. This thing looks like it would be so good if it had recovery. But it just doesn't. Oh, it doesn't even get like Draining Kiss or anything weird like that. You have to run Rest. So I don't like this thing at all in the bulky side of things. I think you just run Toxic if you really just want a fourth move and you don't know what to do. You can also just run Stealth Rock. But I'm gonna be real. Terapagos, like, it's gonna be Ubers, but it might fall to Ubers and then get banned from that. I don't know. I'm thinking this guy has Ubers written all over it. But I really do like this. I'm guessing this is like the World Turtle type of deal. It's pretty cool. Anyway, we have one last guy to talk about, and that's Peacharunt. Now, this guy has a very funny stat spread if you have not seen it yet. Look at this. 88, 88, 160, 88, 88, 88. This thing has got RU written all over it. This guy's supposed to be the master of the Loyal 3, and, spoiler alert, it's probably going to be the worst of the 3 as well. It is a Poison Ghost type, which is a very okay typing, I think. I think, it's basically Gengar, except bulky. When I think Ghost type, I don't think bulk. Unless your name's Gelatin, but it's bulky because it's a water type. Poison Puppeteer is its ability. Anytime it poisons something, it'll also get them confused. Please, for the love of God, tell me it learns Toxic. Okay, good. It has a signature move called Malignant Chain. But, oh, wait. Oh, no, it only has 5 PP. I don't like the fact that you can only use it 8 times. Like, it hits decently hard, but it's a chance to poison. I'm going to double check and see if we know the odds of it. Okay, so I didn't see any odds online, but it's probably 30% because that's generally what these type of deals are. Also, I forgot to mention when I was talking about Hydrapple, it has a signature move called Fickle Beam that has a chance to deal double the damage. I don't know the odds at the top of my head, but it's normally a base 80 special attack, so you can run that over Dragon Pulse if you really want. That's probably what you should run. I should have mentioned that sooner, but oh well. Peach Run's not going to be great. It'll confuse things when you poison them, so honestly, a set that you could run is, we're just gonna use Crobat, because it's kind of has the same body type. You should probably run Leftovers. I'm thinking Toxic, Mean Look, because that's what it learns. Yeah, the fact that we're running Mean Look on something is crazy. This thing's gonna be kind of like Salazzle, where it just wants to Toxic things. Unfortunately, it can't Toxic other... Obviously, it can't Toxic Poison types or Steel types. And if you look at its moveset, it can't really touch them either. Now, this thing does get Rest. Does it learn Recover or Roost? It does learn Rest. No Roost. No... Oh, wait. It does learn Recover. So Toxic, Mean Look, Recover, and then what? Shadow Ball, maybe? Because to do that, if you run Shadow Ball, the only thing that can block you is a normal type that can't be poisoned, aka Snorlax. Or I guess a normal Steel, which doesn't exist. And then a normal... Ghost Normal? No. A normal Poison, so Grafaiai. Grafaiai is actually kind of common down there, isn't it? Shadow Ball. Yeah, that way you have some stab. I think this is generally going to be its best set. Max HP, max special defense with this set here. I don't see this thing being good. Well, let me give it its name, like Peach and Runt. I don't care. I'm not learning it. It's, yeah, Peach and Runt, but I didn't spell it right at all. I mean, you could run it physically, but I like the idea of special attacking, to be honest. You just need something that you can hit Steel and Poison types with, and Shadow Ball hits both of them neutrally. So I like that. Plus you get stab boost. Generally speaking, though, Poison Ghost is it's a decent typing. Like, you don't really have much resistances. But offensively, it's okay. Huh. Yeah, I don't really know about this guy. He's not going to be OU. But Mean Look with Toxic on this guy is going to be very annoying. Yeah. Now, does it get Iron Defense? It gets D-Bond, which is interesting. Parting Shot is also very interesting as well. Parting Shot is also set. You can run Acid Spray. Okay. Mean Look, Acid Spray is rude and evil. That being said, I don't think you can take on a lot of things in this tier. This thing is just here to spread around Toxic and be annoying. I don't have anything else to add. I'll probably use it when it drops as well. But that being said, I'm going to wrap this up here. If you had fun with this, I haven't done a video like this ever before. So this is just my general first impressions of these mons. I'm curious to see how accurate my predictions are about like what tier they'll end up in. For the most part, I don't think many of them will stay in OU after the first 2 months, to be completely honest. Like, except maybe Iron Boulder, but that's a pretty big maybe. I'm kind of riding off of Terrakion's coattails there. But besides that, I'm very excited to use these mons whenever Showdown does get updated. I don't know when. The only reason I'm recording this is because Showdown isn't updated yet, and I still want to get a video out for today. By the way, even though this video is late, because this video is supposed to be out in 9 minutes. So, thank you all for watching, and you have a nice day. If you want to use any of these sets, by the way, I don't care. You don't have to credit me. I'm not your dad. I'm not a cop. Do what you want. Have a nice day.